Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we're talking about Chaos Theory Season 2. This is going to be my immediate reaction of Season 2 and all the episodes in the season, and I haven't yet watched it. I'm about to go and watch it, and my expectations for this season are that the camp fam, they're gonna get into a lot of shenanigans like they always do. I was watching the trailer the other day and I'm still not used to their new character designs. I'm so used to seeing them as like little kids instead of like adults, so it's gonna be weird seeing them again in a second season of Chaos Theory all grown up. And another expectation is or not an expectation, more of a worry, a concern perhaps, is that Brooklyn is going to completely change the character. In the trailer, she was talking about how she's not like the same person anymore or something, not the same person that they knew in the past. And she said something along those lines and burnt a photo of the camp fam. Like, how dare you, Brooklyn? I don't know what has happened with Brooklyn, and that's insane. She has no arm anymore either, so I want to know what's happened to her, and I can't wait to find out about that. But I'm just so concerned they're going to completely butcher her character as well. You know, if her turning into some different character is fine if they do it properly, but I'm just concerned they're not going to do it properly, and we're about to go and see that. And I know also in the trailer that Kenji gets mad at Ben for knowing that Brooklyn is alive. So they're gonna know about Brooklyn, but they're not going to see her just yet. So I am curious what if they're actually going to see her at some point in this season, or if they're just gonna have the knowledge of the fact that she's alive. So I'm very excited to watch this. We love Camp Cretaceous / Chaos Theory. I'm still calling it Camp Cretaceous, even though it's Chaos Theory. Completely different show, a spin-off show now. But you know, old habits die hard. So, and we just absolutely love the Jurassic Park franchise. It's my favorite franchise ever. So I love that it's continuing, even though we know it's a cash grab. So let's get into watching Chaos Theory Season 2.
Tell me what looks better. Here or here.
It's scared.
Scared?
Oh,
You can't go past our friends. It's not safe out there.
that's adorable. I like this little dinosaur. So I ended up watching episodes 1 and 2 last night, but I didn't end up recording any sort of reaction last night when I immediately watched it. I am going to be doing an overall immediate reaction at the end of this video, but for episodes 1 and 2, I do have to say that Kenji seems to have a death wish. And that's kind of concerning. What is, like, I know he's upset about his dad, but I'm so concerned about Kenji. It seems like Yaz is also concerned about Kenji, so they're going to be kind of like the duo in this season, that they're going to be like looking out for each other. And obviously Yaz and Sammy are going to be like around each other all the time as well, because they like fixed their relationship and whatnot last season. But you know, Yaz and Kenji are like, you know, when they like switch up the pairings and the groups every so often. So it'll be Ben focusing on Brooklyn by the looks of it, Yaz and Kenji, and then Sammy and Darius, I guess, are left. We haven't really seen a lot of them yet in the first 2 episodes, but maybe it'll be a bit more about Sammy and Yaz and Kenji, which is a great group, by the way, especially in Camp Cretaceous. So I'd love to see that again in this Chaos Theory Season 2. Darius is kind of off doing his own thing, like always, but he's more of like a wherever the rest of the group goes, he goes, and he's being a leader and leading them. So he just like moves amongst the groups. You know, he decides where the group goes, but he will like take into account their ideas, and that's why he moves with them. You know, he's that type of leader, you know. You guys know what I mean. Not much has happened with Brooklyn yet, just because it's like the first 2 episodes out of 10 episodes. But you know, Ben knows that Brooklyn's alive, and that's another thing that I'm not really sure why Ben is keeping the information from the camp fam. So I'm just a little confused. I guess it might be because he doesn't want to get their hopes up if he is wrong, I guess. But at the same time, like, maybe they could be helping him. And we know in the trailer that Kenji finds out and is really mad. So, well, they'll find out eventually, but I'm not really sure why Ben's keeping it from them. They could help because they're the camp fam. They're found family. It's great. Come on, Ben. Tell everyone about Brooklyn.
I have to go with them.
So I watched episodes 3 and 4, and it was basically a lot of Brooklyn, which is actually really good. I very much thoroughly enjoyed that, learning about the gap where Brooklyn, we all thought Brooklyn was dead, the Camp fam thought Brooklyn was dead. Ben is still a little bit unsure and confused as to whether or not Brooklyn is actually alive, and I was kind of right in the fact that I did think that he wanted to tell the Camp Cretaceous crew, but couldn't because he wasn't sure that Brooklyn was actually alive and wanted to, you know, not get their hopes up if she wasn't still alive. And it was just like a fluke, someone who looked like Brooklyn, that sort of thing. The one issue I have with these next two episodes, episodes 3 and 4, is that I'm so confused as to all of these organizations and what's going on and who's connected to who and who's the like good guys, bad guys, kind of a gray area with some of them. I'm just very lost, and it's like too much information. It's like an information overload. Just like, can we just keep it very like much more straight, and let's not go all over the place with who's doing what, you know? Like, it's just, there's the DPW, I think they're called, and they're kind of the bad guys, but not all of them are corrupt. And then there's another like radical left, kind of privileged radical left, was actually pretty funny, that he was like a trust fund kid. What's his name? I don't remember his name, but the person that Brooklyn is undercover and working with, but at the end of episode 4 she kind of dumps, so she's able to go on trying to reveal the DPW's corruption. And then there's like who's chasing the whistle Atrociraptors person, who tried to kill Brooklyn and ended up getting her like bitten off. And they think she's chasing the Camp Cretaceous Nubla 6 kids. Not kids, they're not kids anymore. So there's like 3 groups, I think, and then the trust fund baby is no longer in it. And I don't know if there's another organization. I don't think there is, but I'm like really confused. So I'm hoping it doesn't get any more confusing, but there's like, and whoever was on that ship, that cargo ship that the Nubla 6 was on, that was also really confusing because I don't remember who they were working with. If they were the DPW or whoever they were going for, and they're trying to find, like the Nubla 6 are trying to like look for who's chasing after them. And my cat is meowing up the window over there. Just ignore her if you can hear her. I'll let her in a minute. And just, there's so many people that are supposed to be connected in some way in releasing these dinosaurs, trapping the dinosaurs, moving them around. I did notice though that overseas they did mention Malta, that one of the locations that Brooklyn is looking at is Malta, and we know that's where they were briefly at in Dominion, so we know that there are dinosaurs there. That's how much I know. I'm still really confused, so I'm hoping it gets a little bit cleared up later in the season, but we'll see. Of course it's that dinosaur. Back to Yaz, like, dying. I just watched episodes... How many episodes did I just watch? Yeah, 5, 6, 7 I watched. Those are the episodes I watched, and those 3 episodes just had me on the edge of my seat. There were so many dinosaur fights, and the Camp fam almost died like several times, and that's where I'm really glad that we know that they have a heavy plot armor, because I'm like, they're fine, they won't die. But then again, like, they technically killed off Brooklyn at the beginning of this show. So at the same time, I'm not really sure that anyone would actually survive to the end of the series. Maybe they'll all end up dead, and they'll be like, the Nubla 6 didn't die on Isla Nubla, but they did die not long after that. Only a couple years, was it 6 years later? So I'm really worried for them. Yes, that entire time I'm like, give that girl a break, please. Stop getting her attacked. She got attacked by what? She got attacked by one dinosaur, and then, oh, by the way, rip to that hippo. I'm so upset that they killed the hippo. And then they killed, no, they killed the dinosaur, it looked like a baryonyx, but I might be wrong. But it did look like baryonyx. It was just whatever, it was like a bright orange dinosaur, and then she got attacked by that, climbed up a tree, got attacked by a pterosaur, I think that's what, or a pterodactyl or whatever, climbed down that tree, got attacked by that bright orange dinosaur again, and then almost got, and then she went into the water, and then it started swimming. And I didn't realize it was gonna start swimming, and I'm on the edge of my seat at this point. I'm like, oh my god, Yaz is actually gonna die. And then, and then she almost got attacked by a lion. And then that lion got eaten by another dinosaur that Yaz also got attacked by, and she almost got attacked by the orange dinosaur again when the camp fam found her, and they almost all died. What the heck? And I've already forgotten the young girl's name, but this young little 14-year-old girl that's in it, I'm like, oh my god, she so reminds these kids of like their time on Isla Nublar. That's why they're like letting her follow them around. And at the one point, Darius like covers her and like tries to protect her because they're like, they see themselves in this little girl, and I'm like, this is so cute, it's adorable. Anyway, those 3 episodes were terrifying, and it's quite a lot. That was insane. And I think also in episode 5, I watched just a bunch of episodes all at once. In episode 5, it was Brooklyn being attacked by the Velociraptor, and also the character from Dominion, it's Soyona, something like that. I don't remember how her name is pronounced, but she from Dominion, we knew she was still alive afterwards, and we didn't know what had happened to her, but now we know. So that's cool as well, or interesting. Anyway, thus far, I mean, there was one point where the pterosaurs were not properly, you know, like animated. They were just like sitting in the sky, and they're like, oh, they're flying towards us. Okay, it doesn't look like it because the animators forgot to animate that. But other than that, it's pretty good so far. So on to the final 3 episodes.
The broker isn't just importing and exporting dinos. They're creating them too.
Nothing like a diverse portfolio. Was that? It was her.
No, that can't be Brooklyn.
I'm not the same Brooklyn you knew. I have a job to finish.
Okay, so Chaos Theory, I finished the rest of the series, and it is like the most insane freaking series ever. It is no longer a kid's show, I will tell you that. I feel like the themes of the show are just for like older mid-teenagers rather than like younger teenagers at this point. So yeah, it's the rating, I would say, not the rating, but like the age group has definitely gone up since Camp Cretaceous, and I like it. I really love the difference between Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory because it means the 2 shows are different enough but have similarities to the old show that make it enjoyable. Like, you know, the cast is the same, their personalities are very similar, but with more like, they're a bit more adult than they used to be, especially with, I think her name's Zaina, the little girl, the little 14-year-old. By the way, 14 years old, why is your mother letting you even out of the house? Let alone with like some adults that you barely know. I'm not really sure why it was time for her to fly the coop, because she's 14, maybe 15, like wait a year. 14? Like in a world infested by dinosaurs? I don't think so. I would not do that. You know, 14 years old, a little bit too young. Wait until they're 15, 16, in like, I'd be locking my kids up in a dinosaur infested world, because like that child is like the perfect bite-sized snack for a dinosaur. So Zaina being looked after, like obviously we love the camp fam. The Nublar 6 is going to take a really good care of a 14-year-old, but they didn't know that. The mother didn't, Zaina's parents didn't know that. They just met them. So I don't know why they did that. My one complaint for the last couple of episodes was that we got the same story in, I think, episode 8 and 9, as we, like, they were the same story from different perspectives, and I really feel like they could have filled that in with a different part of the story, or like combined the 2 episodes into just the one, so we had extra time to see more of the story. And don't get me wrong, the cliffhanger is great. We were left on a cliffhanger for season 1, and it's very apparent that taking down this whole like organization, all this like dinosaur dark web organization thing, the series will end when they take down this organization. So they have to, that's kind of the story of Chaos Theory, but it means it's going really slowly. And there are just points where I'm like, maybe they're just like reel in the slow burn of this plot, you know, we could just maybe make it a little bit faster paced and just combine some of the episodes. I just think that Brooklyn could have been in episode 8 instead of just the episode 9. Overall though, Chaos Theory season 2, absolutely loved it. It was very dark, but I personally love those themes, and that's something that I absolutely love about the Jurassic Park franchise, is that they really like to question like humanity and what would happen if we were to bring a species like dinosaurs back together, or like species back to life. I said back together, back to life. Dinosaurs weren't just like one species, but you guys get what I mean. If we were to bring dinosaurs back to life, or some sort of other species, that whole theme is very prevalent and is what connects the entirety of the franchise, is the questioning of why humans playing God, and that's what they bring up in the first movie. I think Dr. Ian Malcolm, that character, is the person who brings that up, and he is the original line of bringing up the whole concept of the chaos theory to Dr. Sattler. I think by this point we definitely fully understand the New Blast 6 and all their personalities. It's just trying to relearn what Brooklyn has become in this series and understanding who she is in this season, because we had season 1 to discover where the lives of the other 5 have gone, so we needed to learn where Brooklyn has gone. And she's very like investigative journalist now, really trying to protect everyone, even if that means hurting her friends a little bit or a lot. By the end of the season, the cliffhanger is that they're so hurt. Yes, they got Bumpy's egg, which is brilliant, and I'm sure this egg is gonna hatch next season, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be very upset. The cliffhanger is absolutely devastating, and Kenji finding out Ben was technically keeping the secret that Brooklyn was alive from him, oh my god, that was insane. Just him punching the glass. Kids show, that's what I'm saying. It's for older audiences now. It's definitely for more teenagers, like that's the target audience, but it's just, we've aged up the target audience for sure. I do really hope in season 3 Sammy has a better relationship with her family, because we can really see that with her relationship with Zaina, and the kind of like that missing her family, kind of having a maternal role with Zaina, and I just think that's really cute, and I love that Sammy looked after Zaina so much, but it just was like, where is your family, Sammy? What happened? I did also really miss Bumpy in this season. I know we can't really take Bumpy on this adventure, but it's like, I feel like Bumpy's really missing from the New Blast 6. We did have the character Gabba, the Gallimimus, who kind of replaced Bumpy in that way, but Gabba is Zaina's little pet dinosaur, so it wasn't exactly the same as having Bumpy. And I think eventually what will replace Gabba from replacing Bumpy is the egg. So I'm on board with, I think this is my prediction, is that the egg is going to be called like Speck or a Speckle or something along those lines. For instead of like Bumpy, it'll be Speck. You know, Bumpy's egg baby, once it hatches, they'll call it Speck for sure. This entire season just has had me on the edge of my seat, and I cannot wait for season 3 for just the amount of drama and the amount of like action scenes with all the like the dino fights. It is stressful. It was so stressful watching season 2, and I've never, like, when it comes to Jurassic Park, I'm like, okay, these characters have plot armor, and then these are probably the characters who are going to get in by a dinosaur. No, after Brooklyn like died, technically, I was like, none of these characters have plot armor, they're all dead, and that's it. Like, I genuinely thought in the last episode, and I'm sure they intended this, like Ben and Kenji were dead until they sped past in that car. I thought they were dead, and I was like, I knew it. There's no plot armor on these kids anymore, and they're all gonna die by the end of this series, that's it. But no, it's stressful, and I'm not convinced I think they probably will, because they've always had plot armor, and I think it would upset kids if they were to kill off the main cast, but I'm like worried that they are going to kill off the main cast. and I will forever be worried about that until the series ends. Anyway, that is my immediate reaction. I absolutely loved Chaos Theory Season 2, and I'm going to be doing a review and analysis in the next coming weeks about the season, so I'll go a bit more in depth about my thoughts on the characters, but my initial reaction is like 10 out of 10. There were some issues, maybe like a 9.8 to be honest. Like there were some things that I'm like, okay, they probably could have done better here. Pacing could have been done better. And by the way, just a side note, Chaos Theory Season 2, we're like it's been a couple of weeks in total for the entire series, both Season 1 and 2. It's been a couple of weeks. I would say less than probably a month. Honestly, maybe 2 weeks. If that, at minimum 2-4 weeks. And it's not much time at all. In Camp Cretaceous, that was almost a year worth of the new Lussix's life. We're looking at a month for Chaos Theory, which is why the pacing is so off. But overall, great season. Cannot wait for Season 3. And watch out for my review and analysis in the coming weeks. Like I said, I'm going to be diving into more of the characters, the plot, the pacing, and overall just like an in-depth analysis of the entire season itself. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps out this channel. But once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. But I've been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!